Welcome to GameBCN or BCN 10 Demo Day. Thank you very much. Bona tarda. Moltes gràcies. Thank you very much. My name is Gina Tost, and I'm excited to be here because I'm a video game passionate. I presented the first edition. I presented the COVID edition. So the most iconic ones are hosted by me. So welcome to this 10th edition. Today we are here to celebrate the closing of the 10th edition of the GameBCN Incubation Program, founded primarily by the government of Catalunya, the Catalan government, and the Barcelona City Council, que és l'Ajuntament de Barcelona, whose goal is to help the developers and the professionals in the video game industry to improve their games and also maximize their commercial opportunities. As said, today we are celebrating the 10th years of growth and evolution in the video game industry. We will remember a lot of things this afternoon. And all of you, in some parts, I'm seeing a lot of historical figures, have contributed to this story or history of the video game industry in Catalonia. On such a special occasion, please welcome to the stage to Simon Lee, founder of GameBCN, and Jean-Francesc Bagnó, the executive director. Thank you very much. A big round of applause.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us in such a special event. Today we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of GameBCN, and I'm more than happy of having you with us. To be honest, when we start this project, I didn't realize when this GameBCN would become in 10 years. As Jean-Francesc will explain you in several moments, we start as a small program, a small local program, and 10 years after, we are quite well known around the globe. We have several incubation programs, sister incubation programs in different countries. We export our methodology also, and we demonstrated that it's a success. It works. But let's debrief a little bit the agenda of today. Firstly, after the institutional presentations, we're going to have a small talk about the industry in these last 10 years, a lot of movements we have been living. Then we're going to have a very interesting interview with an entrepreneur, a game professional, that is David Jaumandreu, that he is the founder of Undercoders. This is a studio that I used to say is the benchmark for the companies, for the projects that we're incubating in GameBCN. I feel a little bit old, actually, but his studio twice the age of GameBCN. Undercoders is a 20 years old studio, and they already publish almost 40 titles. For me, this is a remarkable KPI. Then we're going to the central stage of the event. We're going to meet the 10 teams that we're incubating in this program. Okay, I think that there are 6 local teams plus 4 teams coming from abroad. And sorry. And afterwards, we are going to meet also a very, very special guest that is our partner incubator in Japan, that is Iji. I think there's a display here, that is an indie games incubator plus 2 developers. At the end, we're going to have our networking cocktail, thanks to Catalan Arts. And I think there's a small surprise promoted by Asus. But by now, we are going to, let me share you a glimpse of a trailer of the documentary that we are preparing at GameBCN. Thank you.
Yo recuerdo GameBCN como una experiencia, sobre todo, que me cambió la vida. Sí que vam notar, però, des del bon inici, des de la primera reunió que ja vam tenir amb l'equip de GameBCN, el que ens faltava era molta organització.
Recordo que va venir un dia el Simon Lee al despatx amb una idea que llavors ens semblava com una mica esbojarrada o com una mica diferent a tot el que havíem sentit, perquè sí que havíem sentit parlar d'incubadores, no d'incubadores de videojoc.
La sensación que imperaba es que para dedicarse a esta industria el camino era irse del país.
Si no hubiéramos encontrado la aceleradora o nos hubiera costado aplicar o movernos a otro tipo de incubación, conociéndonos hubiéramos seguido intentándolo, pero hubiera llegado en el punto en el que ya no iba a ser sostenible financieramente.
GameBCN tiene la ventaja de ser o de estar gestionada por una gente que conoce muy bien este mundo.
Hablamos de ecosistema de videojuegos. GameBCN es uno de estos jugadores, pero nos damos cuenta que lo que hace es dinamizar todo esto, ¿no? Que conecta desde las grandes empresas hasta los equipos pequeños independientes, hasta las universidades.
Ya espontáneamente escuchas, sí, me he presentado a GameBCN, o no nos han pillado en GameBCN. Ya es algo que la gente anhela.
I was shocked when our game was selected by GameBCN. Hotchai Games is based in New York City, and that's true in a lot of industries, but not so much game development. For us, Barcelona is where the opportunity is.
Well, let me introduce you to Joan Francesc, our executive director. He's the one who makes this grow and becomes big. Joan Francesc, please give us some insights.
Thank you, Simon. Think about where were you 10 years ago. Think about where were you living, where were you doing. Josep, for example, it was in the high school. Fair, it's just starting university. And Oscar didn't have this beard. So, and over these 10 years, do you know how many teams pass across our GameBCN incubation program? 64. And do you know how many mentors have participated? No, mentorship, sorry. We did it in our program. 340. Do you know how many mentors pass and work with us doing that possible? 162 super profiles from around here and around the world. And do you know how many money we raised or helped raised for the teams? More than 6.5 millions. Okay? And at the end, how many titles they published? 24 titles. So along these 10 years, you know, we have some good moments, but not so good moments as well. But GameBCN, at the end, remain as a ship that indie teams and developers knows that we can help them to grow and have more chance to success or survive. You know, it's difficult in this industry. So, above all, thanks for our partners, because with them it's impossible to do that, and for their unconditional vision, and help us and support us, okay? So enjoy the party, because today is a big party for all of us. Thank you.
mitiquíssims, els vídeos. Bueno, thank you, Simon. Thank you, Jean-Francesc. I really enjoyed this Wayback Machine of some of the video games that has surpassed GameBCN edition and are part of our history and our memories. I would like to take this moment to extend my gratitude also to the promoters, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. This is the thank you for la Direcció General d'Innovació i Cultura Digital de la Generalitat de Catalunya, que no sàpiga jo on estàs, delicte, and also the Barcelona City Council. Please welcome Marta Tria, Coordinator for the Creative Industries Department of the Institute of Culture of Barcelona City Council.
Estimada directora general de la Generalitat, equip de Game Barcelona, professionals del videojoc, equips participants, bona tarda a tothom. En primer de tot, voldria excusar l'assistència del regidor de Cultura i Indústries Creatives, Xavier Mercè, que us ha anat acompanyant en altres ocasions, i a la directora d'Indústries Creatives de l'Institut de Cultura de Barcelona, Mireia Escobar. Ja sabeu com van les agendes i a vegades no es pot arribar a tot arreu. Llavors, per part meva, en representació de la Direcció d'Indústries Creatives de l'ICUB, molt breument. Felicitar l'equip Game Barcelona, 10 anys, Déu-n'hi-do, i sobretot pel salt qualitatiu, ja no sol quantitatiu, les xifres que diu el Joan Francesc ens deixen bastant al·lucinats, i sobretot pel salt aquest qualitatiu. I llavors això per nosaltres és, com ens agrada també posar el focus en la Direcció d'Indústries Creatives, és una aposta pel talent local, pel foment del talent, i sobretot també per donar-li, millorar aquest reconeixement internacional. Tot això ens contribueix a professionalitzar petits equips de desenvolupadors de videojocs, ens ajuda també a posicionar Barcelona com a hub creatiu d'innovació i tecnològic, ens ajuda també a seguir creant relats i continguts, que seria la part més humana pròpia del ser humà. I per què ho dic això? Perquè en un sector del videojoc on la tecnologia és vital, on la intel·ligència artificial aquí ens ajuda moltíssim, crec que és important seguir donant continguts, relats, i això em fa pensar en una exposició que us recomano anar a veure-la, que és en el Design Hub Barcelona, que és una exposició que es diu Matter Matters, la matèria importa. I vaig veure una peça que és un diàleg entre dos elements totalment oposats, que diríem, ostres, que té a veure una amb l'altra, no? I era una peça de llautó antiga, molt antiga, que hi havia escenificat una escena mitològica del personatge en aquell moment que creien. I al costat hi havia un videojoc reimaginant aquest mateix personatge, però a través del videojoc. Llavors, un canvi de material, del llautó als bits, però explicant relats. I jo crec que aquesta essència del videojoc explicant continguts, relats que puguin fer certa influència a la societat, que ens ajudin a transformar-la i que sigui millor, aquí crec que també hi ha el potencial del videojoc. Llavors, hem vingut aquí avui a conèixer els nous projectes, els nous jocs, a tastar-los, a jugar-los, i Barcelona està orgullosa d'acompanyar-vos en aquesta formació, en aquesta professionalització, i després vindrà el vostre èxit global. Ja està, per part meva. Gràcies.
Moltes gràcies, Marta. Thank you, Marta. And now, please welcome Marisol López, Directora General d'Innovació i Cultura Digital de la Generalitat de Catalunya. And my friend.
Her friend, that's the most important part. We have worked together for a lot of years. And I think that you see me every year for 10 years, every time it begins and it ends, this incubator, and I think that you are tired, and I don't know what else to say. I was asking people, what I have to say today, because it's maybe not the 20th, but time that I say something in this experience at the end or at the beginning. And I won't say the same thing I say every year when the first time I met Simon and blah, blah, blah. Last year I said that was the last time, and this year I won't going to tell you the same story.
I wanted to, when we were coming to here and asking, thinking about what to say, Dani, that is the subdirector, I suppose that you all met Dani. Dani, on estàs?
Allà.
Aquí, Dani, who is coming. Molt bé. Entrada brillant de Dani. He said that maybe we were, it was important to explain an experience because GameBCN has gone to Japan and we will see that later. But there's another, like a child born for this experience in Girona. And a new incubator is born this year in Lleida. So we are trying to expand the experience of GameBCN around Catalonia, and maybe next year in Tarragona. So you're not only something important, it's not only the amount of games that has been like born or be grown thanks to all your work, but that there are these other experiences that are going to like, I don't know, rouse around the territory. So thank you for being inspirational for other people. Thank you for put like a light, to be a lighthouse, no? And showing this path for all these people. And per la gent que heu format part d'aquests 10 anys, sobretot d'aquest any, però tota la gent que heu estat incubada, felicitats per ser part d'aquest grup, no? Per ser part d'aquest ecosistema, que cada vegada que diem ecosistema ens diuen que som unes plastes, però mola aquesta idea de que tots formem part d'algú. Com que tots formem part d'algú, també voldria posar en valor, aquí hi ha una quanta gent de Catalanars, i no sé si coneixeu a Eva, que és la persona que porta... Eva, aixeca't. Molt bé. També hi ha Núria, que porta l'oficina de Brussel·les, i no sé si està a Paula a París. La Mireia no l'he vista. Ah, sí, està allà tímida. És que tens un lloc a la primera fila, Mireia, que no t'hem vist. Bueno, que hi ha tota la gent de Catalanars, aneu a buscar-les després, elles us ajudaran a internacionalitzar-vos, a professionalitzar-vos. Demà, en l'Indie Dev Day, hi ha una presentació de totes les línies d'ajut del Departament de Cultura i de... Què? Barcelona Game Fest, m'estàs dient?
A les 12.
A les 12. És que encara diem Indie Dev Day. Sorry. De les línies d'ajut del Departament de Cultura i de Polítiques Lingüística per videojocs. Per tant, si a les 12 esteu allà, aneu a veure que us explicaran també com us podem ajudar financerament, però a més us donaran molt amor i us ajudaran a anar internacionalitzant-vos i ja sabeu que la resta, que teniu tot el Departament de Cultura per ajudar-vos. I that's all. I don't know if I'm sharing something more. Ja està? Doncs ja està. Vinga, moltes gràcies and welcome and have a good feast. Today is a big party and congratulations.
Thank you, Marisol. Thank you, Marta. And thank you for supporting GameBCN for 10 years. And also, I want to mention our valuable partners, and I don't want to forget anyone. Social Point, Game Love Barcelona, Tilting Point, IO Interactive, Fun Plus, Ubisoft Barcelona, Marvelous, and Anchor Point. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for you. They are providing valuable memories, mentors, and professional advice. And I want to pick up where Joan Francesc started just a while ago, and I want to ask you to really think, how was the gaming industry 10 years ago? Maybe we were, for example, myself, I was funding a startup and being an associate professor at uni, and also I was working at a radio show about video games in Catalunya Radio. But where were you? Maybe you were at school, at uni, in another city, working in another type of industry, because yes, it's an industry. And in just 1 decade, the video game industry in Catalonia has evolved from an emerging sector into one of the most powerful cultural and economic drivers of the digital ecosystem. This is, mouthful, difficult to say, costa, but if we assimilate it, back in 2015, the Catalan gaming scene was still almost artisanal, with small independent studios and projects. They were not studios, some of them were not companies, often relying on subsidies or external publishers to stay afloat, or not just to stay afloat, but to be known somewhere. Today, the industry generates hundreds of millions of euros and employs thousands of highly skilled professionals. It's not just people who love to play, it's highly skilled professionals. Barcelona has become an international hub, attracting big companies, big fairs, while also serving as breeding ground for independent studios that export talent and creativity worldwide. This growth, aquest creixement, it's not also quantitative, but also qualitative. Over the past 10 years, the industry has shifted from being perceived as some kids' entertainment to being recognized as the essential part of the cultural and creativity industry, with an impact on fields such as education, healthcare, and even scientific research. Catalan language games, university training programs, public support initiative, also every one of us here have strengthened the sector. In short, globally, the gaming industry has gone from pressing the start button to setting up the rules of the game, and Catalonia has started from simply playing the game to aiming for the big leagues. We also have a publishing company in Catalonia, Jandusoft. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Small, but it is. 10 years ago, that was not even a dream. As for GameBCN, we are proud for every single team that has gone through this program and has been part of it, because they all gave the best out to succeed. Unfortunately, 50% of them were not able to survive, but this is not bad news, because most of their members are working in your studios. They are not working in your studios, so this has a purpose. Others of them are mentors or are coordinating GameBCN sisters programs abroad. And Oscar, who has incubated in the first edition and been managing this incredible beard and program in the last 7 years. Once again, thank you very much for contributing of the industry. But enough of my monologue. And I can think of a better host, not myself, but the speaker who's coming with me, to recognize the evolution that one of the most relevant and long-standing indie artists in the Spanish industry, and I think European. Let's give a big round of applause to David Jaumandreu. Bueno, aquí tindrem problemes amb la faldilla, ja ho veig.
I feel baffled this introduction.
But wait a minute, because maybe you don't know him, but David Jaumandreu is one of the historic pioneers of the video game industry here in Catalonia, 20 years, and respected international reference with a long and influential career. Let's take a look at it. Conga Master,
Conga Master,
Retrola que hace.
Super Olan de los Burgers,
Exactly.
Angry Ramos.
40 games, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, over the years, he has not only witnessed, but actively shaped the evolution of the industry, at least here in Catalonia, making his perspective over the past, present, and future of video games especially valuable. Your games are very different from each other. We've seen some of them, like Conga Master, to the historical exploration of Treasure of Asian. How do you decide where to take the studio creativity, and how do you look for differentiate yourself in a very, very, very saturated market, especially in the past years?
I think when we come to the point that we have to decide what we're going to do next, it's always a combination of what we want to do. I think that's very important. Maybe some studios with different philosophies don't understand that. But if we're still independent and we still have a studio with all the work that is involved with, is because we still have some motivation on kind of expressing ourselves and using the video game as a medium to express ourselves. So that's an important part. But of course, there's the second part, which is what can we do in terms of our knowledge, our team, which has changed a lot during the years, past projects, experience, and of course, finance. Sometimes we can do bigger things, sometimes we don't find the proper partner, sometimes we have great ideas that are impossible or very, very difficult to find funding for because they're too big. So what we want to do, what we can do, and what we can sell. Fortunately or unfortunately, the video games industry is a market. You gotta sell games if you want to survive. And yeah, it's like whenever we find some good idea that fits in that places and we see that there's a possibility of selling those, of getting funding, the idea is something that convinces us and we think that the market has some place, then we can go for that.
Good. You also helped a lot of indie developers and studios. You're kind of a, sometimes, publisher yourself as well.
We've published and co-produced a few games. I think they're the one with the little sprites. We published that. Was from some students from NT. Mail Mall, we co-developed that one. That was a third grade project from NT too. So yeah, I think there was Infernium from Carlos Coronado there. We helped develop that game on Switch. So yeah, we've kind of helped. I've been lucky enough to participate on NT. I met Oscar Garcia here, who was my teacher a long time ago, and he asked me to join NT for project mentoring. So I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of students at NT, a lot of incubated projects also here in GameBCN. And sometimes the synergy works. Sometimes people need help. I think this is still, even if it's growing, it's a very small industry. We are not competitors with one another. The success of a colleague in the studio is a success for us. Before you said like some of these companies don't exist anymore, but you have people in your teams. I do have, for example, our lead 3D artist was the lead 3D artist on Aragami, which was one of the biggest projects here in GameBCN. We had like an amazing relationship, and when they closed, I think like all of the greatest talents of this company are here and there. One is in our company. So yeah, I think it benefits all of us.
Yes, exactly. And I don't want to posar el dit a la llaga, but since 2005, you have survived several industry crises.
Yeah.
One of them being shaking right now. What strategies or mindset, maybe, do you think have been key to staying afloat when many industries, many indie studies have disappeared?
Luck.
That's one, but
no,
you cannot be lucky for 20 years.
You can be lucky. I mean, I feel we're really lucky. not following industry trends. It's something that benefits you in a way that if there's some big industry crisis that follows, I don't know, some trend, and you're not involved on that, you are not kind of part of that. Of course, you're affected. Like, for example, finding funding for Dench Attack took almost 1 year because, like, publishers loved it, but everybody was afraid of putting money because of the global industry crisis.
And now everybody loves it.
Yeah, and now it's, oh, I should have signed that game, etc. And it's like, yeah. So sometimes it happens, but at the same time, you avoid a lot of general stuff. You're doing your own stuff that doesn't go with big market. Of course, you're in for a smaller piece of the cake, but I guess you don't get carried with all this industry crisis. And luck, a lot of luck.
And you are a big, old, wise man from the industry. And looking back over the past 10 years, which changes have surprised you the most?
Changes?
Yeah, changes, or the evolution of the video game industry. For example, VR or mobile.
For us, mobile was very important. Because when we started our company, we wanted to make console games. Our DNA was tied to PlayStation, Sony, Nintendo, etc. And our doors were really closed. Like, nobody wanted to know anything about a small indie studio from Barcelona, with no experience before, and virtually no partners, because the industry here was very, very scarce. And when the iPhone came out, we were doing Java games, which was a jungle. When the iPhone came out, and it was like the first major platform to have like an open SDK, that really, really opened the doors for like kind of small indie studios to create their games there. Unfortunately, throughout the years, the market has become so saturated and with so many big players that we don't have like space anymore there. That's why everybody like then switched to Steam. Then Steam became a jungle. Then we went to consoles. And consoles is a jungle, and I don't know where we're going next. VR, no. But I think that was a very, very, very big change. In Barcelona also, like, yeah, maybe 10-ish years around, something like that, when, I don't know, things started getting more professional, I guess, and the video games industry kind of exploded. I think that was a big change too. Yeah.
In the past 10 years, is there any unexpected turn, something that you thought it would be like the main road to go, and then it shifted?
I don't know. Not really. There are always platforms that come and go, and you think that maybe they're the next big thing, but you're always cautious, which is kind of unfortunate. Like, for example, when mobile games came out, and we thought like, whoa, we have like these incredible, cool ways to play. We have touchscreen, we have gyroscopes, we have all that stuff. And a lot of like very talented devs were kind of using that for different experience. And so we came out and, oh, motion control is the next thing, and the iToy, all that stuff. And you get excited about that. Then it's VR, like VR will come, will be the next thing. The metaverse is coming, etc. And we find like playing the same old things again and again and again, without the exception of like great indie studios that are like genius minds that put something different on the table, but we're kind of playing the same thing that we played already on our Super Nintendo or a PlayStation, just like bigger, fancier, etc. With a few exceptions, but yeah.
And do you think this is going to be repeated in the next following 10 years?
Yeah, after this big crisis, everybody's like super conservative on where to put the money. Sometimes it's difficult to get like refreshing ideas out there. I hope, but for example, seeing like Nintendo being so continuous on their platforms, doesn't bring a lot of hope.
And looking back, is there anything that you would change in your career? Maybe Something that, if you could.
So many things.
Hiring someone, a project, not investing in a project.
I think we've made so many mistakes. It's hard to pick one. I always say, like, in the studios that are starting, don't create the company until you have funding. That's an incredible hole that you get. Like, that was like, no, you have to make a sociedad limitada, blah, 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 and then you're paying your taxes from day one, and you're not making absolutely any money. We did that. We lost a lot of money. We closed the company. We opened it again. Yeah, I always say that. I also would say, like, not following. Like, if you're an indie studio, you really need to find your place. You cannot compete on production values with other stuff. You cannot compete with market share. You cannot use, like, kind of the same strategies of big companies. And sometimes you get carried on. When we were on mobile, we got really carried with all the mantras that were repeated. No, you need to find your whales. You need to find blah, blah, blah. You need to do all this micro data management. And that works for incredibly big companies. But if you try to play that game, you fail miserably, because, like, your budget is miles away from that. So, like, kind of don't try to play the games that they tell you to play. No, play your own game, kind of find your own place, and yeah, I guess.
And looking ahead now, how do you envision the next 10 years, and what trends do you think will shape the industry nationally and internationally?
I think it's hard to say, but we kind of at a point that there are so many games published that it's hard to find visibility, because we still think about video games as a big market. And we should start, like, thinking about smaller markets. And now that the industry of the medium, it's a little bit mature, like more like cinema or music. There's tons of music published. It's tons of literature published, and it's still surviving. And we sometimes are saying, like, well, it's chaos because we have like 1,000 releases of Steam every month. I think that's normal. I think that's good. But we think, like, we need to start thinking about the players in a different way, like more small, I don't say, how do you say niches in English? Small, small group of people, niches, yeah, small niches, go focus on that, different channels, different communication channels from different niches. And I think, like, both developers and especially publishers, that are the ones that they usually, and investors, need to understand that. And we need to, like, to atomize everything a little bit more, like, to cover all of the different range of people that are actually playing, and not think about video games as a one big thing. Like, King has nothing to do with what we do, in absolutely nothing. And I'm saying King, as I could say, like, a completely different company, but we kind of start thinking about, like, the habits of play, the players they have, like the business model, etc. has nothing to do one thing or another, and we still think about this as video games. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, you gave a lot of good advices, but what advice do you want to give to the people who are just starting with their first own project? Maybe not in the industry, because maybe they were in other companies, but with their own projects in GameBCN.
It's hard, because I've made so many errors that it's like, I would say, like, don't do a lot of stuff that I did, which would be quicker, like the tax and the creating a society, etc. But I guess, like trying to create, creating a big network of contacts is, like, probably the best thing you can do whenever starting a new game. Like, for Densha Attack, for example, that it's the last one that we did, it already took one whole year to sign that game. And we finally signed it because there was a WhatsApp group between scouts of different publishing companies that they were frustrated that their bosses couldn't sign this game. And that's when our publisher got aware of our game and said, like, oh, this is cool. Like, we have one slot with that. And that was, like, traveling throughout all the possible fairs, trade shows, and pitching the game to absolutely everybody. And that was, like, getting a lot of contacts and maintaining these contacts and keeping and going to some party that you're not invited to and talking to the people and all that stuff. And that way we finally were able, because of contact in an obscure WhatsApp group of publishers, cultivators, we were mentioned there. So I think that even if you don't make it, like if your game, I don't know, doesn't get published or whatever, like throughout all the journey, like all the learning, all the contacts, all the relationships that you've gathered through the way, I think that that's probably even more important than the game itself.
Thank you, David. I would play Dench Attack. Thanks a lot for sharing your experience and thoughts with us today. Please continue creating cool games that we can all enjoy for 20 more years.
I hope.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Molt bé, tio. Molt bé.
Hola, Ara. He's a cool guy. And the time has come for GameBCN teams to pitch their games. Please enjoy the show because this is amazing. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming from New York City, Hot Chai Games brings unique twists to classic puzzle games. Today, they are here to present their own twist on tile matching with tracks. Welcome, Hot Chai Games.
You have two options for how we spend the next few minutes together. If you have had a long day, if you need to relax, choose option one. Take out your phone. It's okay, you can take out your phone, it's okay. Scan the QR code, download, and play Tile Truckers. For option two, follow me. My journey to this stage started when I met David Taylor. David, can you wave? David asked me to play test his game by handing me an iPad at a party. Now, 6 games later, I get to introduce you to Tile Truckers, a fair tile matching game that delivers. Now, Tile Truckers was designed according to 3 principles: simplicity, strategy, and satisfaction. Tile Truckers is simple for anyone who's played a matching game to pick up and play. We have over 100,000 procedurally generated levels, all guaranteed to be winnable. We've tested it with the algorithm. Now, most matching games hide their tiles. You have to be lucky to win. Our game rewards strategy. We show you the location of every single tile on the board. When a tile matches, it glows. You can drag your finger across the screen and peek at the tiles underneath. And you can slide your finger down the screen and see every level of tiles. Now for us, satisfaction equals challenge minus frustration. Let me introduce you to level 48. Level 48 is the highest of our 4 difficulty levels. It's an expert rating. Over 83% of players fail this level. But I don't want you to get frustrated when you see that big red button. That's your opportunity to spend the coins and use the boosters that you've won along the way. And if after the 3rd time you fail again, that's okay. That's when our dynamic difficulty kicks in and the level gets a little bit easier. Now, satisfaction is what I want you to feel, but it's something that I need to measure for our game to be successful. And we've done that with a series of 3 market tests in the UK and in the Philippines. In the Philippines, we've gotten our cost per install down to just 10 cents. We've improved our churn in the first-time user experience by 10%, and we've boosted our day 7 retention by 3%. So if at the beginning of this talk you selected option 2, now it's your turn. Take out your phone, scan the QR code, download and play Tile Truckers. And next, I will see you at our table with level 48 ready to go for you.
Hop into the driver's seat and test your skills in tile truckers. Match tiles to load your trucks. Keep matching to keep your trucks moving. Explore new scenes. Challenge yourself every day with the daily puzzle. Keep on winning to earn more and more rewards. And is that a flamingo on a golden tile? Well, you can earn rewards for collecting those fellas too. Or maybe just relax a little and play with our Mahjong tiles. Match, load, and deliver those tiles in Tile Truckers. Available now in the App Store and on Google Play.
They say it only takes a single drop to start a storm, but this one is here to start an adventure. Splashes, colors, and secrets waiting to be uncovered. Nothing stays hidden for long. From the playful minds of Wheel of Games, prepare to meet the drop that dares it paint it all. Paintee!
Well, think you of your darkest moment on your life. Think it. Who was there for you? Who was your savior, your guardian angel? In my case, it was a tiny little drop of paint. And you know what does tiny drop of paint? Yep. They paint. And you now are thinking, what this crazy man are you doing in the stage? Painting. In my game, in our games, you have to do the same way. You have to paint the darkness, and you'll start pitch black with nothing painted, completely darkness, and do you know what's under that darkness? Beautiful artwork that our team has made. You can shake Uyuk and Shin there. Thank you so much. So, part of the incredible art that we had, we also think that how we approach the challenge of this game is so important. To quote Bob Ross, I don't know if you know them, he's a great guy. Here, the player don't make a mistake. He make a lovely, incredible action. Talking about accidents, my team. Do you know which is the most asked question to everybody of this team? How old are you? Yep. We are young. We are young, passionate, hard workers, and party animals. But you know what? We are not just 8. We are 8 plus 19 mentors that we have had along of this journey. 19 mentors such as Oscar Sahun that have always trust on us, that has prepared on the wisdom and has helped us a lot. So now this incredible art piece is still so darker, no? Come with us in our booth and finish this painting to white.
Three men who walk into a bar in Seville, one from Bilbao, one from León, one from Madrid. But this isn't the beginning of a joke. It's the beginning of a studio. Please welcome Auxilio Games, creators of a point-and-click mystery thriller inspired by the Spanish translation, The Great Farce.
The president is dead. This is the beginning of your journey when you play Auxilio Games. But these also are the exact words that our protagonist, Claudia Macó, heard not only when she lost his ruler, she also lost the love of his life, his husband. Back in 1975, Spain was divided. In our case, we didn't use Spain. We used our fictional Spain called Castella, because we wanted to do a little bit more, even though the transition is a very good point of history. We have two Spains, the one from the past, the one come from a dictatorship, to the new republic. In games like Nirvana Noir, you have to explore and resolve a mystery between two dimensions. In our case, you have to do the same, but instead of two realities, you have the same one, but divided. You have an old band that still wants to be there, and the new ones who wants to advance to the future. For that, our young journalist, Claudia, needs to explore these places, needs to go through so many places to discover the assassination of his husband. And be careful, because you don't have much time. You have to control your actions. If you want to be here or go there, it takes time. And that time is a precious thing that you can lose. But this is a high-politic game. This line represents a lot of our game. Maybe the ones on the first row will say that politics is just more than a job. It's a game. Do you know a little game called This Collision? I'm sure you do. In this collision, you have to navigate all these characters and see what they are looking for. In our game, it's the same. But this isn't just NPC. We are talking about rulers of the Spanish government, or even though Castella's government. We are talking about manipulate them. Because what role would you play with Claudia? You want to be the widow? You want to be the journalist? Or you want to be the loving one? It's your time to take risks and control all the relationships that you go through the game. Our game is really based on an idea, to bring the loving things like the True Crime podcast to this format. We have taken our game to so many places, and we have realized that the woman wants to play more. They don't want only the cozy games. They want to play the thrillers. They want to experience all the things that they love in this format. That's why we take the idea of games like The Golden Idol, that is that you create your adventures. With this little thing, you can record the characters, you can take evidence, and you can take your adventure to the next games developing your own theories. But be careful, because those theories might kill you by the end. Even though I can still be here talking hours and hours of the game, I think it's better if I show you. This idea was not only bring by me. It takes a whole team to develop this transition. People like Hector, that should be in the back, that don't only bring paella from Valencia, she also brings to us the music. People like Judith and Raul, that are also back there. One, it's from Madrid. The other one, it's from Barcelona. One is an artist. The other one, it's a coder. Even though in paper they don't work with each other, trust me, they finally did it. And in the end, we have people like Pablo, myself, or Andrea, someone that I think it's a rookie around here, maybe you don't know, but trust me, it's a very good person. This team not only has bring this game, we also have been awarded in so many shows because we love our narratives. And we have gone through so many places exploring the transition. But I have a final question for you. Now, are you ready to solve this mystery? If you are inquisitive enough, I will wait you at my booth, waiting for your theories. Otherwise, if you are not, I'll see you at the newspapers.
Donlatino Productions is a brave and foolish solo developer hoping to make you all suffer just the right amount. Please welcome Donlatino himself, Jordi Millán Llamada.
Who doesn't love a good challenge? Well, I do. I am one of those players that, when playing, needs to get all the achievements, and I only play on the highest difficulty. And in my life, well, building this whole game on my own was probably one of the hardest challenges of my life. Please welcome A Tiny Eternity, a cute game about killing, eating, and dying. Let me explain what that means. So, A Tiny Eternity is this game about this cute little character. I call him Tiny, slaying, torturing, chopping heads, with a lot of blood in between. But this funny contrast between the cute and the gore works very well as a hook for new players to approach the game, pick up the controller, and start playing. But once they start playing, they realize that it's much harder than it may look. Inspired by one of my favorite games, Dark Souls, we have this slower-paced combat. You have to know when to attack, when to defend, and try to read the behavior of your enemies to look for opportunities to punish. And once you kill these enemies, of course, you need your reward. Well, in my game, the reward are the enemies themselves. When you kill an enemy in my game, they will explode and release their internal organs, like their brains, their lungs, maybe a bocata that they had for lunch. And you as a player, you get to pick one of those organs and consume it. And once you do that, you get a special upgrade that you will keep for the rest of the run. But don't worry, it's not all combat in my game. There is also lots of mysteries that you have to find, like that huge door. What's behind that door? Or how come every time you die, you go back to a checkpoint and can keep playing? Or who are you to begin with? And why are you killing all these people? Well, all of those questions you'll have to answer yourself, because there's no cutscenes in my game. There is very few dialogues. And you'll have to look at other stuff, like the environment, the enemies that you find, or even the animation of some of the player, to put the pieces together and solve this mystery. So, all that talking about challenges, but a challenge means nothing if there is no reward, right? Well, for this weekend only, we have prepared a special challenge for you in my booth with a secret reward. You'll have to come to our booth to figure it out. So, while you're here waiting, warm your fingers, because you'll need them to keep killing, eating, and hopefully not dying.
A two-person team on a mission to craft games that feel human, warm, intentional, and honest. Partners in life and in creativity. They bring you their first project, MonsterCare.
Do you remember your imaginary friends? The ones that you played with when all the other toys got boring? Or maybe the ones that helped you get through a tough time? We all know that being a kid is sometimes tough. As we grow up, we tend to forget them. But have you wondered if they remember you? In MonsterCare, you get to learn what happens with forgotten imaginary friend, and you're invited to care for them and learn their stories. To do that, you step into the role of Sparky, the manager of a threshold inn. And Sparky here has a lot of duties, trust me, but his purpose is simple and very immense. His purpose is to help imaginary friends to recognize the role they played in their kids' life and help them find courage to take next step. Guests often arrive in Threshold Inn confused and hurt, and as you start caring for them, for example, providing them with meals that they find meaningful or decorate their room with an object that they find beautiful, they open up, they start to tell you their stories, and more they find meaning in their life. And once they are ready to go to the other, sorry, I forgot the word, to the other dimension, they will feel Sparky with the feeling of a bittersweet achievement and cherished memories. As you can imagine, all this care labor, it demands structure. That's why the gameplay in MonsterCare is divided into three phases. In the morning, you take your time to gently warm up, to stock up, to cook food, to make sure that you're ready for the day. During the day phase, that's where you'll find yourself busy, because guests will be checking in, you will be running errands, a lot of errands, all the guests will ask you for your attention, and also there are activities that you need to schedule, a lot of work. So during the evening, you will have time to relax, to reflect on the day past, to have meaningful conversations, and look forward to the future. In MonsterCare, we believe that heartfelt storytelling and deep personalization that comes with variety of customization options, as well as tycoon-light systems that make sure that your every moment is more gentle rather than rushed, as well as guided flow. We believe that these features all create an experience that is unique in a way, and that sets MonsterCare apart from other games of this genre. Talking about the genre, the competitive landscape is wild. As we all know, the narrative, cozy management sim games, they gained a lot of attention recently. Young audience and people, well, people of all ages enjoy meaningful experiences. So we want to believe that MonsterCare finds its place between cozy and heartfelt and will be a success. It's me and my husband Nick. We worked in games industry for quite some time, more than 10 years combined on projects that were wonderful, hard, and now we are doing something personal, small, and meaningful for us. And yes, if I want to sum up everything, please read this. What I will say is thank you for your attention. Follow our journey, and you can find us there in our booth. We will be happy to show you what we worked on.
And now, the stage becomes a dance floor, a celebration of rhythm, style, and pure groove. Get ready to move. Get ready to feel it. Welcome to the funky era.
Disco rules the world. Or it used to be like that in the 80s. Now I see some faces that lived in the 80s. Yeah, that's it. What's even better than the 80s? Of course, robots. And that's exactly what Funkier is about. Destroy the jazz hooligans with an amazing disco combat in an only robots world. Think about your favorite musical genre. Anyone. Any genre can be in the game. Even if it's rap, jazz, classical music, everything can be an enemy or an ally. In our group, we are all freaks. And of course, we love Futurama. We love the 90s cartoon style. And that's what our game and Dan, our protagonist, are based in Futurama. Harder the music, harder the level. So, if the rhythm gets faster, the level will be harder. Now, our target is mainly people from 16 to 25-year-old who love cartoons. But of course, we have some references. First of all, American Arcadia for that retro-futuristic style. Of course, Pizza Tower for the bizarre humor, and Hi-Fi Rush for the rhythms and platforms. You'll be able to play Funkier in September 2026. For now, we have 2 playable levels, 1 platform level and a boss level. If you want to come dance with us and help us rule the world with disco, please come here to the booth.
next team is Crimson Burst Studio. 5 developers from...
I finally managed to get out of that broken sewer! What? Who said that? Never mind. I'm here just to warn you about a terrible place. The island hates us. Only wants to make us suffer. We are sailors of the old world, trapped by this mysterious presence. If we want to return home, we have to fight back and discover what is hidden on the other side of the island. This is the story of the Blade of Madness, a roguelike deck builder with a unique aesthetic that mixes Spanish Renaissance dystopy and cosmic horror from Lovecraft narrative. I am Luis Alegría, lead artist of Crimson Burst Studio, and right now our team is looking for funding to publish our game. But what makes this game special? Every expedition is different, and it offers a lot of encounters during the game. On combat, we use an asymmetrical combat system that we call Lock and Purge. And it allows us to set up a turn, lock the board, and then enjoy the sequence as we purge our enemies. The main mechanic of this game is around the resource of madness. As it fills our sanity bar on the left part of the board, we enter on the leading mode, and then we unlock hidden elements of the game and also new functions in our cards that make us more powerful. But be careful, because madness can also kill us. But there is not only combat in our travels. Also, we can find narrative encounters that we can resolve by taking decisions, like role-playing games, earning different results and different recompensas. Rewards, and also different... ¿Cómo se dice lo contrario? But, yeah. Also, we can find different characters in our travels that we can interact with and also host in our base, Calahonda, our home far away from home. There, we can also receive mechanical adjustments like new cards, classes, and trinkets. And we can use them as we progress on the story. These are the pillars of our demo that it's going to be released soon on Steam. You can contact with us by social media and also here on the event of Barcelona. Calahonda will need brave people like you to survive. What will you be willing to sacrifice to return home?
I wasn't scared. Oh. Bringing people together through laughter, chaos, and unforgettable moments. That's the sense of this team. Their games turn cooperation into comedy, and every play session into a unique, unforgettable adventure, Please welcome Broken Atom.
What if your worst enemy and you were tied by a rope? The answer, MrDogCat. A dog, a cat, and a rope in a 3D environment. The game is a platformer with the basic things: run, jump, but there is cooperation. There is cooperation even in the menus. But the most cool thing that has our game is the interaction of the rope with the level. You see a zero line with your friend, jump in and go down with the help of the rope. You can do stupid things that the purpose is a stupidity. But you can make apples fall from trees because reasons. And then enemies, unroll them. But the most fun thing that has our game is the failure, because your friend will fuck up a lot. Maybe it's vice versa, but every time you should help him. In part, maybe for that, there is no cooperation at all, because people tend to do the most stupid things before cooperating. I don't know why, but don't ask me. And we take inspiration from games that we love. Do you know It Take Two? We love how cooperative is made in that game, and we want that too. Then is Mario. Maybe it's too generic, say Mario, but when we are doing the levels, we first look how Mario do it. And for last, Astrobot. Astrobot teaches us that the best things are the most silly and stupid things, are the most fun things. And for last, the audience. What we are looking for? The younger ones. Why? They have less responsibilities and a lot of time to waste making enemies. And now, I want to show you a trailer.
What the dog doing?
Our game has a lot of potential, and I wanted to test out that and bring up your worst enemy and play our game that is right there.
Every developer dreams of making something that truly matters. After years in the industry, Daniel Fernandez from Manatee Riders finally had the chance to create something really special. Amimi is that dream made playable.
What do you see here? Maybe a cute character, some insects? For me, it's much more. After many years working on free-to-play, mobile, even Web3, we finally had the opportunity to create something meaningful for us. here in Barcelona, who is fan of Greece? Cool. We want to follow that strong artistic direction and also adding more gameplay and mechanics. Amimi is like a kid between Greece and The Last Guardian. Nuez is an introvert child who meets this extraordinary creature, and the journey begins. The game is based on 3 pillars: a handcrafted world, gameplay that evolves all the time, and also this deep emotional journey. Welcome to Serotin Forest. Amimi mixes platforming, adventure, and creative puzzles. But we want to introduce this feeling of wonder, and you never know what is coming next. At the beginning, Amimi is just a little baby that you carry on your head. But later, it evolves and becomes independent, also learning new abilities that help you during the progression of the game and the challenges. Nightmares. In some key moments, the game becomes dark and the rule changes, and you have to fear your own fears. The world of Amimi is full of fantastical beings that come from the imagination of our art director, Marina. And you have to travel through natural region and helping these elders to restore the harmony in the world. This is Totosori, for example, probably my favorite character. And each elder grants you new powers, integrating gameplay and narrative. We are collaborating with an indie rock band called LA, renowned in Mallorca. And they are creating a very original soundtrack that is key in our game. Imagine yourself playing and finding this hiding waterfall. Just stop, breathe, and enjoy. The story is told visually, without UI or text. That makes it more immersive and also relaxing. I will be around if you want to chat, and we will be also tomorrow in Barcelona Game Fest, so see you there.
With years of experience behind them, this team aims to create games that leave a lasting mark. And that's exactly what they are doing. Industry veterans from Novarama and Social Point, they have joined forces to form their own studio and bring the incredible world of Stranded to life. Please welcome Loadstar.
Can you hear that? No? That's because you don't have her. Adla, the cat. Blue, 3 eyes, super cute. But most importantly, she can control sound. Angel, our intrepid astrobiologist, is very lucky to have her. Why? Because after her spaceship crashes, she's stranded on a planet, deaf and with no memories. And have you ever been stranded on an alien planet before? Imagine having to explore, discover the wildlife behaviors, and find the rest of the crew members' escape pods, all without hearing and without memories. Wouldn't you want Atla to be with you? Stranded is structured as a series of semi-open areas where you solve knowledge-based puzzles. You progress through understanding. There is no combat, and the only weapon is your knowledge. It's also a planet of wonder, full of life and surprises, and endearing characters, like those guys over there. But Stranded is also an emotional and mystery-driven adventure, where each clue brings you closer to vital revelations. Why did the starship crash? Who was Shell traveling with? What was their mission? Are they still alive? One of the key mechanics of the game is that you can learn and manipulate the planet's soundscape. You have simple sounds, you can learn and reproduce, and there are complex sounds. You can route and modulate. And this is the team that makes it all possible, Loadstar. We are a team of veterans. Collectively, we have shipped more than 20 games, and we used to work together at Novarama. Now, I want you to come to a booth and meet Atla, because I'm sure you won't want her with you next time you're stranded on a planet.
Great games. But don't worry, you can play afterwards. Because as we mentioned before, at the beginning of the event, it's a pleasure to welcome our partner incubator in Japan, Indie Game Incubator, to Barcelona for the first time. So let's give a warm round of applause to Saori, the project manager in Tokyo.
Well, thank you all. Buenos tardes. I'm very honored to be here. I am Saori Chinen with Morbilis, and I would like to explain about who we are and what we do to help Japanese indie game creators. So let me tell you about Morbilis first. Do you guys know Morbilis? Or like story of season the game? Maybe some devs? Great, thank you. So Morbilis, as a Japanese entertainment company, brings you a lot of stuff, such as games, stage productions, music videos, and of course, the indie games. So how we empower indie game creators? So we mostly do the three things. One, publishing. Second, incubation program, and acceleration program. So as for the indie game publishing, one of our major success is called Sakune of Rice and Urine. The titles sold more than 2 million, and we do publishing for the Japanese indie creators, of course, and from the overseas creators as well. And secondly, incubation program, as known as IGI. So we are here to celebrate our 5th anniversary and your 10th anniversary. So IGI was established by the big support from the GameBCN. And in IGI, we have the mentor, Oscar, and many teams love having a mentor for Oscar, and we do also love him because of his wide knowledge of the game production, and he does look like Master Roshi of Dragon Ball. And as we are in our 5th edition and features 27 teams in total, one of our biggest success comes from the 3rd edition team called Kotake Create. He is a developer of Exit 8. And his game has been a movie this summer. And he has sold his game in 2 million copies. Last but not least, acceleration program. It's called SOFU. SOFU is supported by the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry, METI. It's the Japanese government. So SOFU is Japan's first publicly funded acceleration program for indie game creators. So about SOFU, it's kind of similar with IGI, but it focuses on more than marketing strategies because it's acceleration programs. So as SOFU, we have featured 29 teams over the past 2 years. So wrapping up, this is my end, and I am very honored to be here. And today I am here with 2 of our teams, one from IGI, Land of Seder, and one from SOFU, Wonder and Wonder. And together, this is very honored to be here, and we would love to build a stronger indie game community all over the world with you guys. So, as for the last, I want to introduce one of our team, the creator of Land of Seder. I just said he is from IGI, but he is selected as 4th division of IGI, and after graduating from IGI, he has chosen as 2nd term of SOFU. So I want to introduce the creator, Nambuworks. So Nambuworks, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nambu from Japan, currently developing tactics RPG. So, have you ever had classic masterpiece of tactics RPG like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics? Okay, thanks. So, those I mentioned are developed by a Japanese creator. So, it's quite natural that I've dreamed to have my own ideal tactics RPG as a Japanese and a huge fan of the genre. My project, the Land of Seder, it's my passion. Pretty cool, huh? So now you can know that my game is inspired by biking and have an authentic atmosphere and serious tone. But what I really want player to experience is experience as commander leading the army. It's my game's unique selling point. So please let me introduce what is the core concept of commander leading the army. So for experiencing these features, I prepared a lot of unique features. For example, every state can be attacked. I don't explain what tactics RPG is, but so yeah, I focus on what unique my game is. And in usual tactics RPG or RPG, normal attack is only targeted as normal attack targets only for hit point. But in my game, stats like strength, defense, speed, these kind of stats are all targeted as a normal attack. So even if you have a strong unit, like having great stats, high level, after intense combat and getting a lot of damage, even powerful warrior can be weakened. So, strategy. Strategy is muy importante. And moreover, you have to think about recovery after combat. Unfortunately, in my game, your units can't recover automatically. So what you can do is payment for recovering. But it's hard and reward of combat. So you have to think about investment as well. Investment, like running a new skill or buying good, strong equipment for future enemies. So these two problems, like a short-term survival decision and long-term growth investment, always make you suffer. So management. Management is more important. So this kind of dilemma, so always make players suffer, but after overcoming it, you can feel some sort of exciting feeling called catharsis. So everything what I implement is for catharsis. For catharsis, I implemented some sort of experience as a commander. You know? So I believe that you can already understand my game is good, gonna be exciting, and everything for the genre's fan base. So finally, please let me introduce my small team. We have only 3 members. I, number Sumi, in charge of almost everything, and only core member. But other 2 members also have a solid experience in this industry. Kuen, who is a graphic artist, and she worked in Urban Myth Resolution Center, one of succeeded indie game in 2020 in Japan. And Yoshimi Kudo, a composer, who is very talented composer, and he also involved a lot of work, and probably you don't know, but have you ever heard Elden Ring? Elden Ring? He is one of the composers of Elden Ring. So you can understand our team is very trusted. So finally, my game is working. We are working for releasing it in 2026. So, and yeah, please talk about it more after that. And one more, please let me introduce our Japanese game. One more Japanese game. Please turn right. Can you see Wonder in Wonder? So it's a really heartwarming, hand-drawn point-and-click adventure. It also has a demo, and so you can understand how opposite of my game and the diversity of Japanese indie game. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Doncs moltes gràcies. Arigato. It's incredible how GameBCN has crossed borders, and now we have sisters, incubators across the country in different cities, but also across borders in other countries. This means, maybe, that we have a proven model that works easily and worldwide and is exportable. And for us, that we have great games soon enough in the market. Just before closing the event, please welcome Mireia Madroñero, Market Development Director at Catalan Institute for Cultural Companies, who have sponsored the networking.
Thank you, Gina. Bon vespre. Good evening, everyone. Gràcies per ser aquí. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Mireia Madroñero. I'm the Markets Development Director at ISEC, the Catalan Institute for Cultural Companies. We are responsible for the internationalization of the Catalan cultural companies worldwide through our brand Catalan Arts. And we work across the sectors as music, performing arts, books, visual arts, audiovisual and film with the brand Catalan Films, and of course digital culture and including video games. That's why we are here. We support the companies throughout their internationalization journey. Since the very beginning, we help them through consulting, mentoring, and helping them to build their strategy for internationalization. And also, we help them strengthening their presence at markets and fairs, as well as all kinds of B2B events. And also we help them with promotion when they do any kind of international activities. And last but not least, through some economic support with some funding that we provide to companies that have an international distribution plan. 2025, that's been a great year so far, because it has not ended already. It's been a landmark year for the internationalization of Catalan arts and for the Catalan video games. We've been part of, for the first time, in two major events. One is GDC, Game Developers Conference in San Francisco in the United States, with 8 Catalan companies, a pitching session in collaboration with Meet to Match, and a booth. And also we've been to Bit Summit in Tokyo, in Japan, with 6 Catalan companies, including a pitching sessions at the booth, and we've been also part of the Catalan Kyoto region MOU. And we also had our largest ever presence at Gamescom in Colony, with 34 Catalan companies at our booth and 5 selected games in the arena booth. That's quite big words. But as I said, that's not the end. That's why we are here tonight, celebrating this 10th anniversary, so happy birthday. And this marks also our second collaboration with Demo Day in Barcelona Game Fest for this networking event, for the closing of this event. And because our core and our aim of Catalan Arts is to create networking opportunities that connect the Catalan sectors, and in this case, the Catalan video game professionals with their international peers. So, we hope you enjoy tonight. We hope you enjoy the meal, the networking, and also we are here with Eva here at the front row. It's our, our project manager of digital culture and video games at Catalan Arts. Also with Paula from our office in Paris, Nuria from our office in Brussels, because we are based in Barcelona, but we also have these 4 anthems through Europe that connects us through all the world. One is based, as I said, in Brussels, another one in Berlin, in London, and in Paris. So thank you so much, and enjoy this evening. Happy birthday, and thank you all. Thank you.
Cultural companies' brands for the international promotion of cultural and creative companies. Via our network of offices in Europe, we work on a variety of lines of action to connect, mentor, and support creative companies in their international journey. To this end, we work to build local, national, and international connections, promote the presence of Catalan companies and their creative works at markets, fairs, and key professional events, and encourage the co-production and the distribution of Catalan projects. We also support films and talent selected at international festivals and act as the industry's official Catalan government Ministry of Culture representatives at international markets. Thus, we offer a range of useful materials and resources to professionals based in Catalonia who want to develop their projects internationally, as well as to professionals from other countries looking for artistic productions and willing to establish contact with their creators and promoters.
L'ISEC fa una feina increïble. It's an incredible job that they are doing. But final stretch of this event, I want to welcome to the stage Òscar, which is the manager of GameBCN in Barcelona. He has lots of surprise for this playtest for this evening.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here and part of this. This is amazing. And I'll be very quick. I know you are hungry, you are thirsty, so as we don't want you to get lost in the networking catering session or area, thanks to Asus that has provided hardware for the teams to test their games, we have gamified the experience. This is an incubator for video games, so very, very easy. On the tables, you will find a playtesting passport. Okay, so best tutorial designed ever. Get your passport from the table. Put your name, email address. Play 4 games. Get 4 stamps. And then put it in the super black box. And at 9 p.m., we are gonna raffle amazing prizes from Asus. A notebook, Peoplebook Gaming, and a second prize, keyboard, mouse, headphones. So enjoy the show, drink, eat, and play the games. Thank you.
No te'n vagis, no te'n vagis.
Last but not least, because I know that you are hungry and you want to play the games, thank you to Generalitat de Catalunya, Ajuntament de Barcelona, Social Point, Game Love Barcelona, Tilting Point, IO Interactive, FanPlus, Ubisoft Barcelona, Marvelous, Anchor Point, GameBCN, of course, because your unraveling passion fuels the fire of this industry. Please play, enjoy, talk, do some business, and see you next year.
Thank you.